expectations and effectively discharge its duties. May God's bountiful blessings and special care be upon our bishop, our district superintendents, our beloved church workers and their spouses, the laity, and our conference as we embark on another year of service to God and our community. Thank you for all of your attention. Praise be to God.
Amen. Before you, any motion to accept the report of the BOT? Yes, Brother Dave.
Bishop and members of the conference, I move to accept the report of our Board of Trustees Chairman with appreciation.
Thank you. Do you have any question? Sige po, and then Attorney, yes, Brother Dave.
Ang question ko, Bishop, ay tungkol sa mga fire coverage ng ating mga simbahan. Do we have in our discipline guidelines on how to ensure our, for example, our church, or especially the main sanctuary? Do we have a ruling on that based on our discipline?
Our discipline says it doesn't provide guidelines, but our discipline is only 2 million. But maybe with the present prices of materials, maybe it now will cost you 5 or 10 million. That's why there is a need to update your insurance program or coverage.
I see. In NACS UMC, because I'm the chairman of the BOT, we have reviewed our insurance coverages. The Board of Trustees in NACS, I don't know if the basis is to replace it as a new one, and the coverage, which is 4 million, is the cover because it is already deteriorating the value of the present value of the main sanctuary because of the old structure.
Let me correct that because I'm the previous chair.
Yes.
I think you're talking of the insurance of the contents. Actually, the building itself is protected to that amount, 30 million.
So the content is excluded?
Yeah, there. Only the 4 million refers to the equipment inside.
I see.
So we are properly protected.
So it's not specified. So
no, there is a separate. Yeah,
separate
building is separate from contents.
Thank you, Mr. Bishop and members of the.
Thank you, as Attorney.
Bishop and members of the conference. For a while, naliligaw ako yung PAC, still the mother church conference. Nakikialam sa mga bataan, Northwest. Pag nagmi-meeting kayo as a PAC o as a Central Conference, BOT, di ba ito mga gastusin dito? Tiyak, pag nagmi-meeting kayo, nagmi-merienda kayo, mayroong mga dokumentong dapat ilabas. Saan ang metro? Saan pumapatak? Philippine Central Conference BOT o PAC BOT?
Sige po. Sige po, sige.
Actually, we have requested the Central Conference to have a full-time property administrator and also to raise the necessary amounts that they require, including the upkeep of the bishops' houses and so on. But right now, there is no specific rules or procedures on who does what. That's why we are appealing to the conferences to immediately, which they have not done for sometimes 30 or 20 years, for those properties that are in their domain or in their geographical location, which have been turned over to them formally during the splitting or during the conference where they were born, to immediately do it, because it drains our resources in a way, because every time that there is a hearing or and so on, the owner is required to be present, even in court hearings. And who is the owner? It's the PAC. Okay, so I appeal to the bishop that they should make representations with the different annual conferences to immediately expedite the official transfer to their conference of the properties still in the name of the PAC. Okay, so I think that should answer your question. Sometimes if we have to go, then we have to cover our expenses and so on. If we have to stay overnight, our expenses. These are not charged to the Central Conference unless maybe in specific instances where we can ask for refund from the Central Conference Treasurer.
Pagka po yung, halimbawa, alam ko kayo laging nasa Bataan. Pagka kayo nagpunta sa Bataan, sino gumagastos sa inyo?
For example, in Bataan, previously, when I go, I pay for it. And then I tried refunding the expenses from the Central Conference Treasurer, and she did so.
Binabayaran naman po kayo ng Treasurer.
And in cases also, a couple in Balanga, Bataan answers for the lodging. Okay.
So yan po, mga kapatid, sandali po. Yan po ang aking na-discover na marami pa palang properties ang mga komperensya sa Bisaya, Mindoro, Palawan, Arpace, Quezon City, ewan ko Quezon City, pero ganun yung na-discover ko, mga nakapangalan pa sa PAC. Ngayon, siguro, tulungan niyo po ako, paano ba yan maipapangalan na sa kanila?
Yes.
Para yung ganito po, kasi tumatagal yung panahon, buti si Mr. De Armas buhay pa, pagdating ng panahon na wala na, di kawawa naman yung mga properties natin doon.
Yes.
Sige po, please.
Sige po. I will just add to the bishop's remarks that one of the reasons they keep telling us is they do not have money to pay for the transfer taxes, etc. And that you would, if you attend the birth of when we create daughter churches or daughter conferences, there is a statement saying that okay, these properties will be transferred, and within a certain period you have to transfer them in your new annual conference's name, because it takes time for an annual conference to incorporate and to pay all the charges related to titling. That is what is always stated when we create a daughter conference. Yes.
Okay. Dapat ay within 2 years?
Bishop, that would be reasonable. In fact, it could be done in less time because all we need to do is to issue them a deed of conveyance, Bishop.
Sige po, ganito na lang para hindi tayo magtagal. I will sit down with you, so please give me some guidelines. Yes, si Pastor Menre, and then sa likod may Pastor Ding nagtataas doon.
Yeah, for record purpose only, because you have number 6 here in your construction projects.
Yes.
Just to probably to include in the report that Central Church is now having a construction at the back.
Yes.
It's a 4-story building actually, but we'll start with the first floor. We have earmarked already 2.4 million, which is cash ready. And
Thank
then
you.
by November, we will be starting our project here, a 5-story building. And aside from that, the orphanage of Central United Methodist Church, known as Tahanang Susana, the building construction will start probably September, the first phase of the building for the housing and quarters of these orphans. So just include that in the report.
Thank you for reminding us.
Yes.
I thought we included that in last year's report.
Meron pa po. Meron pa ngayong dinidevelop ang Central Church na kanyang retreat center in Plaridel, Bulacan.
Yes.
So these are the things happening at Central Church now.
Congratulations to Central.
Opo. Now, Bishop, ito po ang isa sa mga gusto kong bigyan ng pansin, yung second to the last, yung last paragraph, second to the last page. It says here, Kuya Gam, the churches are also strongly reminded that no construction of church buildings or structures should take place in
Agreement again, depending on, because we have done that, for example, in Makati UMC, we have entered into an agreement with the Korean church, Methodist church, to put up a building, and when we put up the contract, we said that after 25 years, that building will now be owned by Makati UMC.
Okay.
And in the meantime, they were required to pay a monthly lease, I think of about 30 or 50,000. So nagbabayad na sila sa ating pang-building after 25 years. So we welcome those developments.
Okay, thank you so much for the clarification.
All right, sa likod po si Pastor Manyabat and then si Brother Dave.
Good afternoon, beloved Bishop and members of the conference. In behalf of the Crossroads United Methodist Church family, we just want to express our thanksgiving to our PACBOT chairperson, Kuya Gam, Tito Gam, in partnership with the District Church Location and Building, the BOT of our district, and DS Robert, in helping us and guiding us by the books, in demolishing the 60-year-old parsonages, classrooms at the back of Crossroads, and helping us and guiding us embark with the 6.7 million construction of the said property. Maraming salamat po, Kuya Gam.
Bishop, I would just like to commend the two churches. Well, of course, Central.
Si Pastor Gambito.
Bishop and members of the conference. Ang NACSO kasi, ang land area ho pala ng NACS noong nagsimula ay abot yan doon sa recto. Hanggang umabot na doon sa ngayon. Ang dahilan ho pala ay yung mga miyembro, binibenta nila yung lupa para to cover their budget. To. So ngayon, NACS, ang tanong ko ba, pwede ho bang iutang to? Kung pwede. Kung hindi naman, malaman din namin kung hindi, on what ground.
Sige.
Thank you, Bishop.
Ano bang policy natin doon?
Ang discipline po natin kasi binabawal yung sale and mortgaging of property unless there is an approval of the conference. Kanya kung tutuusin, kung kailangan, because there is a danger, pag hindi ho strict yung
well, nung bumalik ako Malabon Central, salamat sa Diyos na ayos ko na yung problema po doon. Binigyan ko na yung Board of Trustees ng kopya, pinasukat namin sa geodetic engineer. Sa Crossroad, meron din pong problema. Ewan ko kung ano yung ginagawa ng Crossroad doon sa likod mismo sapagkat property pa ho yun ng Crossroad. Di ko po alam. Ngayon po, ang aking concern, tatlo pala ho yung titulo po niyan. Pwede po bang i-consolidate para maging maayos? Ano po yung mga steps na dapat gawin po ng St. Mark para ma-improve? Sapagkat sa ngayon po, pinauupahan lang ng mga sasakyan.
Pwede po bang yung mga ganon mag-usap kayo para wag nang matagal yung discussion? You just talk to the chair.
Relation to how they manage the property of United Methodist Church. Bishop, there's no dispute, there's no question that the BOT holds in trust all the assets and properties of United Methodist Church. And at this point, there's no dispute also that one of those valuable properties that are being held in trust by the BOT are the three
down, and we were able to secure that, because that property being under the care of the BOT.
Opo.
Okay, so
and they have been occupying that, possessing that, managing that property for the last 11 years.
For the objective of having a retreat center, first it was the district, and then later on it became the annual conference.
Opo.
So that is the prime reason why we have a Tagaytay Mission Camp operating or managing that property.
Wala hong problema ho doon. Ang tinatanong ko po, may kontrata ho ba yung dalawa? Yung Philippine Annual Conference at saka Tagaytay Mission?
As of now, there is no formal contract.
Okay, there's no formal contract.
Yeah.
So in other words, Mr. Chair, for the last 11 years, they've been operating there, they've been occupying that area without any contract at all. And because of that, hindi natin alam yung mga guidelines natin. We don't know kung ano po yung mga liabilities and obligations ng bawat party, PAC at saka Tagaytay Mission Camp. We don't know kung ano mga guidelines kung how they operated at kung paano. In other words, we are blind, pareho po. And because of that, nagkakaroon po tayo ng mga di pagkakaintindihan. For the last 11 years po. Tama ho ba yun?
Well, not really, because again, we go by the original objectives of the use of that lot. Plus, we call the attention of the operators from time to time regarding adherence, because under the laws, you know, a church property cannot be tax exempt if there is no church building.
Wala po hong problema po doon. Wala pong dispute doon. Ang tinutumbok ko po kung ano yung agreement ng dalawa.
There's no agreement.
Ano ba ang obligasyon ng isa sa bawat isa? Ano ba yung pribilehiyo ng isa sa bawat isa? Ano ba yung and other guidelines? Kasi sa ngayon po, sa nakikita po natin, klaro po na there's no such thing. There's no agreement. Hindi natin alam kung less or lessee agreement. Hindi natin alam kung property management agreement. Hindi natin alam kung joint venture agreement. In other words, there is no agreement. Tama po ba yun?
Yeah, that's according to the chair. There's no written agreement how to use that.
We tried to answer or cover that during previous conferences where we recommended the incorporation, and we presented an articles of incorporation and bylaws which would effectively relate or tell the relationship of the mission camp with the PAC.
Okay.
That was there,
okay.
but apparently it was not adopted.
At this point in time,
Excuse me, Attorney.
yes po, opo.
Can we reserve all questions and issues to Tagaytay?
Yes,
When-
pero isa na lang po ito.
When the Tagaytay Mission
Yes,
can render
pero
the report.
isang punto na lang po ito.
Sige po.
Is it not proper at this point in time na dapat magkaroon na tayo ng malinaw na agreement? At this point, dahil after 11 years, di ba dapat lang na magkaroon tayo ng agreement para hindi na ho tayo nagkakaroon ng hindi pagkakaintindihan at this point in time?
Sige po, let's hold that until we come to Tagaytay
Okay.
Mission.
Salamat po. Salamat
Please
po.
take note of that.
Thank you, thank you.
Last,
Alright, mga kapatid,
Last na.
mahaba na po yung discussion natin. Baka yung mga tanong nyo ay kailangang mag-usap na lang kayo ng chair para masagot o matulungan kayo. Ay gusto kong ganun po ang gawin ngayon. Kung magtatanong kayo ng mga sasagutin siya din, ganun po. Inquiry? Sige po. So that we can proceed to Tagaytay Mission Camp.
My point of inquiry, Bishop, is in relation to the classes membership of the Board of Trustees. Last year, kasama po si Attorney Carlos, at hindi po siya graduate. But I was, nasyak po ako sapagkat wala po doon ang pangalan niya, at kinonsulta ko siya, ang sabi niya, ay member siya pero nawala. So, wala siyang, naiiya naman siyang questionin. Now, if I am in order, Bishop, I would like that the name of Attorney Carlos be considered because hindi pa naman siya graduate. May classes yan graduate. Kaya yun po yung aking sinasamo sa ating Board of Trustees. And as a member of this conference, also we have the right to nominate Attorney Carlos as one of the member aside from Chancellor of this conference. Thank you, Bishop.
Yes, yes.
last year, we had a reorganization, and that's why all classes ceased to exist. Therefore, we started from scratch. As we mandated the Committee on Nominations to select new members with their respective classes, and that was what was done last conference year. We can include Attorney Carlos in the next nomination.
Ganito siguro, tulad siya naman po yung conference chancellor, he can sit with you if you need the legal advice.
Yes.
So he can be of help to the Board of Trustees.
Yes, the Chancellor has been sitting with us in the previous years, Bishop.
So, all right. Si Earl po. Si attorney...
Obispo.
Si
Sandali
attorney
lang,
Earl
sandali
muna.
lang.
O, sige.
Kasi because of this development, meron parang legal impediment. Is now been elected as his chancellor. Now you put him now, gagawin niyo siyang board member nitong Tagaytay Mission Camp. There are times when he has to render an opinion to a board which he's also a part of. Para may doesn't sound parang improper.
Ano po, hindi ko yata
Kasi ano na siya ngayon, di ba? Chancellor.
Chancellor, yes.
Now he wants to be a member of Tagaytay Mission Camp.
Yeah.
No. Of the Board of Trustees.
Of the BOT.
BOT.
Of the BOT. Di ba may conflict yan? There are times when he has to render a legal opinion which would affect, let us say, the camp to which he is now a member of.
Yeah, I agree with Attorney Oscar kasi the Chancellor should be
Neutral.
in, shall we say,
Neutral mode.
free grounds. So he will not be part of a committee.
Given our problems of perpetually encountering problems when conferences divide and you have to conduct another process of transferring titles and incurring expenses. So, Bishop, the motion is that the Board of Trustees, the current Board of Trustees, to study which mode of titling is best given our current circumstances, which has been reported, and to report back to this conference in session next year for us to petition whatever is the best process to undertake for titling of properties. I will not speak anymore, Bishop.
Oh, sige. Ang motion atasan natin ang Board of Trustees na pag-aralan yung pagta-title kung maganda ba sa conference o sa Philippine Central Conference. And then next year, sa session, mag-report po kayo sa amin ng inyong masusing pag-aral. Lahat po na seconded yan, lahat na sumasangayon, ayun ay ating pagtibayin. Raise your hands, please. Thank you. Yung total po do the same. It is approved. So mga kapatid, take note of that. All right. Are you ready to vote on the report? Those who would approve the report of the Board of Trustees say aye. Those who are opposed say nay. It is approved. Meron po silang recommendation. Sige po.
Recommendation. The GBGM have two properties in Bel Air that they wish to sell and use the proceeds to fund their mission objectives. The titles are still in the name of our conference, as when the Board of Foreign Missions left in the 70s, the properties were left in trust to the PAC. Factually, the GBGM is now the owner of these properties. Our bishops have appealed to the GBGM that, if possible, the proceeds of the sale be given to the United Methodist Church in the Philippines for its mission work, as well as to fund the headquarters building renovation project. I have recently discussed the GBGM's Reverend Paul Combe, who just was accepted in our conference. He is the Asia Pacific Regional Representative. And he has assured me that the GBGM is receptive to the proposal and will take up the matter in its next session. I think they have another one this year. In this connection, we are asking this conference to approve the sale of the properties, since the titles are in our name, and to make the necessary and needed documentation so that the GBGM proposal for them to do the necessary will go on, will take place.
All right, that is before you. Yes, Brother Earl.
As I understand, Bishop, I'm going to make a motion, just an introductory.
Mag-motion ka mo.
Sige po. Ang motion po ay irekomenda na kumuha tayo ng legal opinion as to the legal succession rights na nagko-cover sa properties na ito, kasama yung Bacobo property, na parehas ang estado in such a way na alam natin kung tama ang hinihingi ng GBGM o meron tayong karapatan na questionin ang ginagawa ng GBGM sapagkat nag-expire na ang parity rights.
All right, that is a motion. All right. Yes, Pastor Rico.
Beloved Bishop, as member of the property management of the Philippine Central Conference, ito po ay aralan na po namin at ayon nga po sa amin pong napag-aralan, hindi po natin to property. Ito po ay property ng GBGM na tayo po ay humihingi ng tulong sa kanila upang atin pong maipagawa ang atin pong UMC headquarters. Ngayon po sila po ay nag-reply na gusto nilang tumulong at sa kanilang pong pagtulong, nais nilang ipagbili ang kanilang sariling property. Ito po ay alam natin na hindi po natin to property. Kung ang sinasabi po natin yung Laurel Act, akin po itong pinag-aralan at ito po ay nagko-cover lamang sa mga businessmen at mga tao na sila po ay individual. Hindi po ito nagko-cover sa church. Ibig sabihin, no, ang magandang example dyan, kung kayo po ay may sasakyan at color coding at ang hinihuli nyo po ay ang nagmumotor, hindi po sila covered. Dahil ang dapat lamang hulihin ay yung mga kotse. So ngayon po, regarding sa property natin, hindi po tayo covered nung pong Laurel Act. Dahil ang covered lamang po nito ay yun pong mga businessmen at yun pong mga individual person, not the church. At ito po ay alam po natin na simula noon pa, ito po ay ipinangalan lamang sa Philippine Annual Conference para po magamit ng kanila pong missionary. Ngayon po, sa kanila pong pag-aaral, ang missionary daw po ay ang board po na ginamit na maaari natin sabihin, napaka-taas po kasi yun po kasi ay isang pinakamahal na village, yung Bel Air property. At ang nais nila, yung kanila pong mga missionary ay nakatira lamang po sa modest na mga lugar. Kaya nga po kanilang naisip na ito po ay ipagbili. Ngayon po kung sasabihin po natin na pwede po itong gawin commercial na investment, kung papatayuan po natin to ng mga building, hindi po papayag ang Bel Air dahil ito po ay residential. So ang mangyari lamang po, kung ito po ay atin pong gagawin na parerentahan, lalabas lamang na mga 30,000 a month ang atin pong kikitain dito. Subalit kung ito po ay atin pong yun pong kanilang mga area, tagte 10%, at yung 10% naman po ay mapupunta po sa UMC headquarters para po sa renovation. Nakausap po namin si Bishop Vittorio na ang kanya pong mga clergy ay inaasahan po ito dahil gagamitin po nila ito sa kanilang yun pong equalization ng compensation ng mga pastor. Kaya kung sasabihin ho natin na ito po ay malulos ho tayo, wala ho tayong loss dito. Bakit po? Kasi po hindi ito atin. Kaya there will be no loss on our part, but it will be a gain in our part dahil matutulungan po ang atin pong mga episcopal area at the same time po, ito po ay makakapagpapaayos po ng atin pong UMC headquarters. Kaya bilang chairperson po ng Board of Trustees ng Philippine Central Conference. Ito po ay akin pong pinapangalawahan yung rekomendasyon ng atin pong Board of Trustees dito po sa PAC. Maraming salamat po, Bishop. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
Okay, ang motion sa atin ay seek a legal advice on that property that is before us. And that
Sa property sa Bocobo.
We have a copy of the
Sandali
deed.
lang po.
Yeah.
Yung argumento na binabanggit kanina ay naaral nyo na. Pero wala po kayong ipinapakita ngayon sa amin. Kaya po namin sinasabi, ibigay nyo po muna sa mga abogado at aralin itong mabuti at bumalik kayo dito sa konferensyang ito para ipakita ang mga kinakailangan na kung alin panig ang mas nakakabuti regarding legal succession rights po sa issue na ito.
Okay, si Attorney Oka. Sige po.
Maliwanag po sa discussion na ang PAC ano lang, nominal owner. Ipinangalan sa kanya, pero ang talagang bumili, GBGM, pero ng GBGM yan eh. Ang proprietary ownership, nasa GBGM yan. Nagamit lang yung pangalan natin dahil sa for legal, siguro, para madali, ang bentahan. Dahil hindi pwede silang pumapel. Kaya tanggapin na natin yung offer nila. Wala tayong magagawa kung hindi ganun eh. Sila ang may pera niyan eh. Nominal lang tayo in the sense na ginamit yung pangalan natin dahil hindi sila pwede pumasok.
Okay.
Nga ang kanon. Yung PAC, i-desisyonan nyo na yan. Wala nang iba pang gagawin kundi mag-decide ang PAC for that because there is an urgency that this must be disposed.
Amen.
Okay, last na si Madam Treasurer. Gustong-gusto niya na kasing mayari yung headquarters eh. At meron kaming good news sa inyo. Pag nayari, sige, later.
Ang sasabihin ko po, Bishop, ay meron po tayong maliwanag na trust agreement with the GBGM. Iglesia po, ino-honor natin na ito ay ipinagkatiwala lang at ang tunay na may-ari ay ang GBGM. So, we are a church and we should honor that trust agreement. Nakita po namin yung kopya ng trust agreement na ito at hinihiling po natin na sana it's about time na pakinabangan ng iglesia dito sa Pilipinas, yung Bel Air Properties. As of this moment po, ang nakatira lang doon, kasi yung isang unit na yon, dalawa po yung unit na ito, ang total niya 1,020 square meters. Yung isang unit lang ang pinakikinabangan, nakatira doon si Ate Emma Cantor na missionary ng GBGM. Yun pong isang unit na dating ino-occupy ng mag-asawang Jay at Grace Choi, wala na pong nakatira for so many years. Kaya it's about time that we invest this fund, sana kung mapapagbili po natin to, malaking pera ang magagawa, hindi lamang po sa headquarters, kundi sa 3 episcopal areas. Yun po ang aking pakiusap.
Okay, let me say my piece. Ganito po, yung nakita ko sa discussion, especially dun sa insight ni Attorney Oscar, ang mag-uusap lang naman niya PAC at GBGM eh. Kung may problema sa succession, GBGM ang maghahabol sa atin. GBGM ngayon nag-aata sa atin na ibenta natin eh. So walang legal problem ako nakita dito. Let's ask the judge to make a ruling. And then let's decide, mga kapatid.
Bishop, good afternoon po. Ano lang po, point of order lang po. Kasi may recommendation po si BOT Chair. Yun po yung primary motion na to approve the sale. Kaya punta ho tayo sa primary motion. I second po yung recommendation. I second the recommendation.
Tulungan niyo ako kasi in-entertain ko yung motion ni Brother Earl eh.
Primary motion po yung Bishop eh.
Hindi, ang motion mo ay to seek legal So that's substitute, parang gano'n. Attorney Menre. Tulungan mo ako.
Precisely, Bishop. That's a whole substitute motion.
Yeah.
So let's deal with the substitute.
Sige,
if
let's
it will
decide.
pass, then that will become the main motion.
Yeah, that's my understanding. So yung pong pinopropose ni Brother Earl, substitute motion. Pagka yun po'y lumusot, yun ang magiging motion. Right? Are you ready to vote? Lahat po ng ay gusto nyo i-observe ang conference bar ngayon. Kinuha ko lang attention ng chair na i-observe natin conference bar. So ibig sabihin po, lahat nung hindi registered delegate ay doon muna kayo sa bandang hulihan hanggang doon sa 15 pews. Sige. Sandali po, sandali, Uncle Sam. Yung mga hindi po official delegate, you draw a little back and then yung delegate dito. And then mahalaga po yan kasi mamaya meron tayong isang halagang decision na gagawin eh.
Bishop, may
Yes.
say something. Let us call the chairman of the committee on credentials since this is now in order. Kasi ano ito legislation po ito. Lahat po ng tinawag ng committee on credentials na talagang legitimate member of the conference may now sit on the proper pews.
Ganito na lang po, wag na natin sigurong anuhin yun. Let's trust each other na kayo nakaupo dyan as official delegate ng local church. Ano po? Yes, sige. Let's make a decision. Lahat po ng sumasang-ayon motion ng motion ay i-repair or seek legal advice on the legal succession of the property. Taas ang kamay. Salamat po. Yung tutol, taas din ang kamay. Alright, so we go back to the original motion. Let's decide on that. Lahat po ng sumasang-ayon, ano ba yung inirekomenda nyo? Is ibenta, right? Yung GBGM property para magamit natin sa construction ng Methodist headquarters at sa development ng 3 episcopal area. Taas ang kamay. Ayan, praise the Lord. Palakpakan natin ang Panginoon. Yung tutol, ganun din. Mga kapatid, I'm so thankful in your decision kasi po, yung pagdating ko dito sa PAC, nakita ko yung paggawain. Talagang mahihirapan po tayong matapos yon because we need 30 million to complete that. Ako po very sensitive ako sa mga fundraising na ginagawa. Isang bulsa hinihingan, napakabugbog na bugbog yung mga miyembro natin. So, yun po, ako hindi nag-raise ng ano pa man tungkol doon. Kasi po, nakikita ko yung sitwasyon ng mga miyembro natin at gusto kong pagpahingahin kayo. Pero hindi naman hindi ko nakahihingan. At isang good news po dyan, gusto ko i-reveal to, ang good news po dyan, ang GBGM po ay magtatatag ng opisina dito sa Pilipinas. At pinakiusapan namin na yung second floor ang kanilang maging office at ipapagawa po nila. At may renta sila doon. I-advance lang nila yung renta nila pero papagawa na nila in advance. Kaya yun po mga good news at yung ating headquarters ay hindi na mumukhang storeroom ng PBS. Kasi yung PBS, pag tinignan nyo, high-rise building pero yung Methodist headquarters, mukhang pobre. Palakpakan natin ang Panginoon doon. Salamat po. Yeah. Sige, mga kapatid, alam ko na you are very excited to discuss Tagaytay Mission Camp. But let's have a break for a while. Ang break po, hindi, huwag kayong tatayo. Hold your breath. Meron po kasing constitutional amendment na dinala nung isang taon, meron palang problemang phrase. So, ibinalik po sa lahat ng annual conferences to repeat the ratification. So, ibibigay ko po sa inyo ngayon yan, but we are in order na yung conference bar ay na-determine natin. Now, teka muna. Now, because this... alright, at ang instruction po ay we just do the ratification And then immediately isesend po para...
Bishop at mga kapatid, yung po kaninang nireport yata ng Church and Society issue tungkol sa hindi kinilala yung karapatan o identity ng mga kababaihan, iyon din po yung tatalakayin natin ngayon?
No, that's different. Yung sa kabataan ay support lang.
Di ba yung sa Church and Society?
Oo,
na nireport kanina na na-reject? Ito ho ba?
Hindi yun ang kanilang sasabi. They are asking for support to women. That is specifically doon sa...
Ito po ngayon ay...
That's the specific provision in the discipline that needs ratification.
Kaya nga, ito po ba yung question number 1 noon?
Yeah.
Yun din po yung na-reject ngayon na nireport kanina ng Church and Society.
Yes.
Yun po ba parehas yun?
Yeah.
O yun po. Kaya nga, ito po mga kapatid ay yung kanina na inuulat ng Church and Society na hindi na-aprubahan dahil parang kulang sa pagkakilala. Pero may mali doon sa document na pinabotohan sa atin noong tayo ay nagboto sa Constitutional Amendment number 1. Kaya yung ni-report po kanina ng Church and Society ay ito po yung pagkakataon para ulitin natin ang pagsuporta sa pagtataguyod sa mga kababaihan. Yun lang po.
Alright, salamat po. Okay na? Determine na yung number. Let me get the number. Alright, sige po mga kapatid, I will ask the secretary to please read to us the provision.
Proposed Constitution. May kopya na po ba lahat? Pa-distribute muna yung kopya. Okay. Proposed Constitutional Amendment number 1 on May 16, 2016 at the session of the General Conference of the United Methodist Church held in Portland, Oregon, the following constitutional amendment was adopted by a recorded vote of 746 yes, 56 no. Calendar item 121, DCA page 2106. The text of this amendment, as distributed to the annual conferences in 2016, was found to be in error. The corrected text is now presented to the annual conferences for vote. In the 2012 Book of Discipline, Division 1, add a new paragraph between current paragraphs 5 and 6. As the Holy Scripture reveals, both men and women are made in the image of God, and therefore, men and women are of equal value in the eyes of God. The United Methodist Church acknowledges the long history of discrimination against women and girls. The United Methodist Church shall confront and seek to eliminate the discrimination against women and girls, whether in organizations or in individuals, in every facet of its life and in society at large. The United Methodist Church shall work collaboratively with others to address the concerns that threaten women's and girls' equality and well-being. If voted and so declared by the Council of Bishops, this would become the new paragraph 6, and the current paragraphs 6 to 61 would be numbered paragraphs 7 to 62. The rationale for this proposed constitutional amendment: new paragraph 6